It all comes down to this day.
This day.
Ejection comes in. Good stop. Cox fires it. Sticks in. Up in the air. Followed in.
To play for 70 minutes.
To play for history.
Now we're going straight into the circle and across the field. And a goal for Seacliff.
But to come out on top,
We need your support.
we need your support. Your support.
Anderson, she finds it, 1-2 around the goalie.
One of the easiest goals you score in situations at either end, but
The trap.
there you go.
Show us your club pride. Come on, Magpies.
Come on, the Tigers.
Up the P's. Can the Tigers.
Hockey Centre, the rematch that we've been waiting 12 months for. Adelaide taking on Seacliff in the Premier League Men's Grand Final. I am joined in commentary by Tim White. Very pleased to say the Women's National Junior Coach announced on Monday. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you very much, Dave. It's an exciting role and one that I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into.
And we look forward to supporting you on your journey with the Australians. Probably the only time I'd support an Australian side, to be perfectly honest with you, Tim.
Thank you, Dave.
We are getting ready to go. The teams are up and about. The hill is up and about. The hill is in shade. Finally, the hill is in shade. You spent some time on the hill today. What an atmosphere up there.
It was great out there, and I dare say there'd be a few sunburned lads out there with a few ales under their belt, ready to.
I've bumped into a couple. They are there. What we will do while we're getting lined up is we will have a look at the lineups.
It's going to be a cracker.
So we just see them warm up. We're just some technical gremlins again.
Hockey Club in here. Everything's on target. Nobody can miss. Well,
Seacliff look like they got new warm-up tops. I haven't seen them all year. I think they got some special warm-up tops for their grand final.
Looks like it. The singlet, the Tiger singlets. So they might have bought them out for the special occasion that is the grand final.
Now, I went down after the women's game. I went down, said hello to some of the port girls, and they're up and about, obviously. But Seacliff, I spoke to hello to Dan Mitchell and stuff like that. There was people around, but something I picked up. There's some Adelaide players who were nervous.
Adelaide men?
Adelaide men. There's some Adelaide men out there who are a little bit nervous. You could just feel it.
Well, Seacliff have obviously had a couple of weeks to wait for this game after winning the game a fortnight ago and going straight through. Adelaide was super impressive against Forestville.
It all comes down to this day.
I, along with you and everyone else, is really awaiting this contest. I think it's going to be a fast and furious open game with lots to like.
So there's our lineups. Tim Lee, Angus Fry, Adelaide. Jake Stacey, a striker from Adelaide. Sam Hilditch, a striker from Glenelg, Hilditch. Ben McPhail, already played today, striker from Fullerton. Rob Kane, midfielder from Malvern. Fred Gray, rising star for 2017 from Rose Park. Ben Massey, fourth best P from Mildura. Hugh Purvis, the captain, the midfielder from Adelaide. James Hazer will play halfback from Fulham Gardens. James Humphreys, a halfback from Torquay. Daniel Cox, the big fella. Nick Lohmeyer from Westbourne Park. Patrick Capron, he's already had a run around today from Fruitville. Damon Lang will be between the sticks, he's from Tusmore. Ryan Lucas, he'll be there ready to go. Steve Budden is the coach. And we will just have a look at the Seacliff side. Matt Morgan is striker from Henley. Matthew Bird, striker from Marook. I love Australian place names. Ben Batts from Ardrossan. Pinky. Mike Menarde from Waikerie. Jason Rademski from Cooper Powerding, midfielder and striker from Waikerie. Dan Mitchell from Port Lincoln. Alistair Oliver, goal machine from Marino. Lockie Buzzico. Excellent work in the short film. Jordan Kitto from Keith. Todd Kitto from Keith, returning from Vanuatu. Correct. Jamie Krekel from Marino. Tynan Cassidy from Seaview Downs. Connor Richmond Spouse, a defender from Marino. Glenn Tamlin, the accountant, the defender from Hallen Cove and captain today. Michael Wells will be between the sticks and Lachlan Cooper will be backing him up. Mark Deloro will be the coach for today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all been waiting for this. This is what it all comes down to this, the next 70 minutes of hockey.
Absolutely, and to be quite frank, I think both of these teams have been playing all year knowing that unless something went awry during the final series, that it would come down to these two teams in the final. They were the standout teams throughout the season, and now we've got 70 minutes in front of us, extra time if we need it, to find out who's going to hold the cup aloft at the end of the evening.
So, minor premiers Adelaide. We had a look at Adelaide, and there you see the nerves. Obviously, the young man I was talking about, he's right on that the inverted U. Just worried he's gone a little bit too far with it. On the other hand, Dan Cox looks like he's just got out of bed. Adelaide minor premiers, Seacliff second place.
Yep.
Through the year, round 12, Seacliff beat Adelaide 4-0. Round 18, Adelaide beat Seacliff 3-1. Round 23, Adelaide 3-2. And then in the semi-final, Seacliff got up 4-2. We were talking as well, 2014 Seacliff, 2015 Adelaide, 2016 Seacliff. If you believe in patterns, should be Adelaide's year, but Seacliff have looked very good all year. And obviously the last time they played against each other, they were ready to go. Our umpires, Nathan Jennings with the magnificent beard.
A fantastic beard.
Paul Finney, fresh off a premiership.
He's not wearing his medal, so he's
I
popped that in his back pocket.
I was going to say to him, by the time he finishes, because he'll get a medal for umpiring today, he'll look like Mr. T at the end of the day.
Well, he won't mind that at all. He obviously enjoyed his victory in the Premier League Women's comp, and here he is now in the green shirt umpiring. So,
and again, we have kids from the Adelaide Hockey Club and Seacliff leading the players out. Great idea from Hockey SA.
Yeah, that is a great idea. I recognise a few of them. So yeah, they would have been excited and enjoying their little moment in the spotlights.
Little one with tiger ears on there. This is fantastic. This is what hockey is about. The hill is up and about. The hill is ready. The peas are out there.
Yes, well, you've got. I think if you look. To our left, as we look at it, we've got the P side of the hill. I think the Tiger Army with a few tiger suits is on our right. So
a couple of tiger suits. I know the bananas in pyjamas are straight ahead of us. There's some serious fancy dress going on around halfway.
Yep.
The P's have brought some signs out. Number 17 plays like a dream.
Well, we have to find out who he is. Number 7, Sam Hilditch.
Sam Hilditch is on that one.
Yes, I actually believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he may be on a plane to the UK at 10 o'clock this evening to take up a scholarship with Oxford University. Not only can he play hockey, he's a smart young man.
Best of luck to him over in my home country. I'm somewhat jealous of him. Been a while since I've been back. There we see the hill in all its glory. A couple of the Forestville boys down there. Obviously, I think they're putting their colours on the Adelaide mask. And we are underway. So, Bussico will start us off. We expect this one to come out of the gates at a rip-roaring speed. Had a chat with Nathan Jennings before we started. Said whistles away. Let's just let them play.
That would be nice if the umpires didn't have to have much of a say.
So Tamlin will start at the back. He will send it out to this right-hand side. Possibly, this is the hard thing from a coaching point of view. Obviously, the amount of time you've got under your belt coaching is to keep the adrenaline where it needs to be for these players, because can't go too far.
And there's a level, and if you go over the top, then potentially that's going to take you away from your game plan and what you know best. So. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they're both very seasoned teams, these two. So I would expect them to be able to deal with that pretty well.
Early turnover. Adelaide have dealt with it, and we'll just fire it forward. Nobody's there, though.
That was Huey Purvis at the back getting involved and flashing it down the other end. It'll give a chance for Seacliff to set up with their strong outletting game at the back.
They'll both try and work out how each other is setting up. And we saw this in the Metro 1 men's. There's a huge gaping space in midfield, both of these teams. I think their aerials will be a little bit stronger and be able to deal with that. Tamlin will shut that one down.
Yeah, Dan Mitchell, really important player for them just on the ball there. He's probably got one of the better aerials for Seacliff, so it depends what part of the field he plays in. It looks like he's starting in the midfield.
Cox just clears it. Dan Cox, known for his physical play.
And he's an experienced campaigner. He's played in all the recent finals that Adelaide have been in, both wins and losses. So, strong rivalry between these two teams.
And this game has been building, and okay, they had to get through Forestville first. This game has been building for most of the year, but it really started to ignite at the awards night. There was some refreshments taken and started to get a little bit chippy towards the end, but that's what we want to see.
Absolutely, and that was, I believe, just after. Oh, here's a chance.
As we get to that byline, it's still bouncing around in there. That short corner written all over it, but it's gone away.
So that was well dealt with by Mikey Wells, and it was Jake Stacey, the striker for Adelaide, who was looking dangerous along the baseline.
So it looks like Mike Wells is the starting keeper for Seacliff.
Yeah, he's a very important player for them. He's not only a shot stopper, but he comes out off his line and reads balls when he needs to, and he's a very good organiser as a keeper. So he's got the experience in the keeper battles. Down the other end, Damon Lang is a younger keeper, first year at Adelaide. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way that plays out.
So Gray will come back to Purvis. Purvis looks on the back stick out to Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer will dump it down the line. Another strong challenge. That time there is a whistle. Adelaide wanted to go quickly, they weren't allowed. Sean Dawson plays it towards that baseline. Towards Tim Lee.
Tim Lee in the hot shot, so he's heading away in 2 weeks' time with the South Australian men's team, making his hot shots debut.
Purvis, he'll look backwards to Humphreys. Humphreys didn't get enough on it, and Seacliff can come away. Might get through to Tamlin. Good challenge by Cox. Now it will come back with Stacey. Stacey looks forward to Massey, the Phantom of the Opera out there. And he will come back to Bowden. Bowden works down that line, then comes back, surrounded by the teal shirts of Seacliff. Quick ball in though. There's a circle entry, shut down very, very quickly. Now they can look to come away.
It's got a great pace to the game early.
I need something to happen just so I can take a breath. But there's little spot fires all over the place. You can see them starting to happen.
Yeah, I think both coaches would be equally as comfortable the way things have panned out early.
One of the Kittos, Jordan Kitto, fires it in towards the circle. Adelaide managed to do it, and there's a lot of space for them to run into. And he'll get his head up and just play that far too far in front of Tim Lee.
That was a great touch by Dan Cox. The ball was loose, and a couple of Seacliff forwards were nearby, but he threw out the one hand and knocked it clear.
For me, initially the key is Tamlin and Cox. If they could control the back and build from the back, that's what will set the foundation. And as we stand, neither of them have put a foot wrong so far. They're only 5 minutes in, but they've started off well.
I think you're absolutely right. Both are pivotal, not only in what they do on the ball, but also with their organisation and their presence and their physicality and all that sort of thing. So I think that's a very important battle.
If they're strong at the back, it will allow the likes of Purvis and Mitchell to play. There we see our first aerial of the day, cut off by Bussico. Bussico just slides it out to the left-hand side. It's a little bit too far in front of Cooper Powerdy.
Yeah, Bussico coming back from injuries. He's had some issues over the last couple of weeks, and he's in the Sassy program that I coach. And but he's primed for this game and he's ready. So I'll look forward to seeing how he plays.
Lohmeyer goes down the line and hears it from the Tiger fans over there. Oh. Not played from the right place, but he was in. Ben Batts was in.
So that, I think, on the ball there is Todd Kitto, who, as you mentioned earlier, has come back from Vanuatu for this game. So he's been back in Australia for about a week and a half, and started the season with Seacliff, and now he's back in here for the grand final.
Mitchell, given no time, but does very, very well. Just holds the pass too short, though. Massey got to stick to it. It's turned over by Powerdy. Powerdy will try and send it out, but that's cut off again. Cox roaming forward, then fires it in field. There's a circle entry for Adelaide. Keeper does well, bouncing around. First goal of the day. Adelaide will take first blood.
That's been.
I saw two hands from Paul. Yes. I was waiting for him, and then it was turned over by Jennings. So a free hit.
Yeah, well, Paul Finney awarded the goal, but then
He
checked in
definitely awarded it.
with Nathan Jennings, and Nathan Jennings spotted a foot, which therefore meant that the goal was overturned. So we went too early on that one.
Excellent. I went on the 2 hands from Paul Finney. That's what I went on.
And rightly so.
I'm throwing Finney under the bus on that one.
But that was Angus Rye who put it away. He scored 2 beautiful goals against Forest with his backhand last weekend, and he'll be dangerous tonight.
Lohmeyer against Powerding, little short ball, dumps it off. Massey makes a run, back to Lohmeyer, but sold him short. Ben Batts will get there. Lohmeyer will win it. Then he will just pirouette around, get the circle entry, but it's not going to go anywhere. Todd Kitto gets his head up early and sends it out. Put him under a little bit of pressure, more pressure than he would have wanted to be in. And that's forced a turnover.
Huey Purvis audibly enjoyed that press from Adelaide Hockey Club, and they've taken it quickly. Fraser Bowden's important for them. He's skillful and fast on the ball now. But well read by Cooper Powdy there.
It was very well. And umpire's opposite now.
Yep, they had their hands up opposite ways there. Nathan Jennings ruled.
And again, they had a short corner signal from Finney. Mr. Jennings went the opposite way.
Great run by Mitchell.
Excellent work. Fires it down into that far corner. A long corner, I think.
And that was Max Menadue on the ball, a talented young striker for the Seacliff Tigers.
I don't know who the manager for Seacliff is, but it looks like a spider's crawled across this page. I'm struggling with some of them. That one's been fired across.
Right. I'm not sure who it is either.
So a brief respite, but we won't be too long. Mitchell has it on the 25.
He's been influential so far.
Fine Richmond spouse, but then that ball just goes away.
That was easily read by Dan Cox. He'll deal with most of those. They'll need to shift the defence before trying to penetrate the circle.
Come back to Tamlin. Tamlin gets his head up, slides it forward. Bussico got a touch on it, but no one there.
Yeah, I mean, Seacliff had a similar move earlier where Mitchell got a touch and they had an overlapping halfback, but Bussico expected someone there, but over the sideline harmlessly.
We're seeing a lot of interchanges from both sides. Mitchell will come and have a rest. What's interesting about that is that the conditions are not what we've had today. We've had hot all day. She's dropped off a fair bit now. Perfect conditions, you would say, for hockey.
It's an outstanding evening for hockey. It's still, it's not too cold, and I think the game has started the way in which we were expecting it, fast and frantic and skillful and open, and yeah, we're in for a good contest.
The atmosphere has just lifted. Cox will send it out to Humphreys. Humphreys will come back in field, then go back to Cox. Nothing doing forward, so they'll build from the back. Lohmeyer, back to Cox. Cox decides to go. Gets his head up. Happy to come back again to Lohmeyer. Now they'll come out to Gray. Gray will slide it forward. There's a touch there. Massey will take on. Does enough.
That's a good battle.
Nice little 3D skills. Now he'll start making his way to the circle. Gets the entry. Good save by Wells.
It's almost a carbon copy of what he did against Seacliff 2 weeks ago. He cut into exactly the same part of the circle and missed on the near side. So as a coach, we like them to go across the face so we can at least get a touch on them. But great play by Bowden. It's good to see Ben Massey out there too. He had a horrific facial injury, missed the first final, but now there he is with his mask on, playing a key role early.
I think 13 places and 4 millimetres away from losing sight in his eye.
So it's actually quite an outstanding effort that he's back on the pitch this year.
Incredible recovery. Better than Rory Sloane. Had a week off for an appendix.
For a little keyhole appendix.
Soft.
Who said that hockey players weren't tough?
So Seacliff will look to build again. There's that agricultural work from Cox. Did enough to shake him off. Under a little bit of pressure. Finally comes out to Bowden. Bowden gets his head up. Not much in front of him, so just swings through. Little slide. Cut out by Powerdy. That one's cut out by Humphreys. Humphreys gets his head up. Look for another circle entry. They get one. Gone to the back. Oh, they just reversed it back. Just bouncing around in that circle. Now it will come away. Lohmeyer. Busico does well. Nice 3D skills. Goes again and will get it again. Lohmeyer comes across and does enough.
Well, really good opportunity there for Adelaide, and Jordan Kitto made a fantastic tackle just when it looked like Adelaide may be able to get a shot on goal.
Busico will go down that right-hand side. Nice 3D skills again. Then gets a circle entry. Lohmeyer, right place, right time. Sends it out. Now they will look to build from the back. Got caught in possession, and Seacliff can start again. Out to Kitto. Kitto fires it in, comes off the foot of Cox, but they will play on. Another one is fired across. Deflected goalwards.
That was by Matt Baird, I believe, who was a goal sneak. Good opportunity there. Matt Morton fired that in. He scored a hat-trick, I think, in the corresponding game 2 weeks ago. So he's a dangerous player as well.
Matt Morton as well, must be said, has just come off coaching in Premier League Women.
He's had a big day. He's had a big day, and dealing with that emotion during the day, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But he's a pretty cool customer, Matt Morton.
Busico again with excellent 3D skills. Busico versus Fred Gray will be a good battle.
That's a really important battle to this game. Both excellent young players.
Oh, just couldn't get the trap.
And Fred Gray's been really good in the battles between the two recently, but Busico has started excellently tonight, so I think he'd be happy with his opening, and Fred he'll work his way into it. He's a very good player.
Busico is up and about. Seen him beating people with ease already tonight.
And you've talked about the 3D, just getting the ball in the air and pretty hard to deal with at pace.
There's that aerial. Can he get the trap? He does enough. Does manage to find its way over the back, but he works it out eventually. Cassidy,
yeah. Bit of a Seacliff stalwart's been around for a few years in this group.
Couple of the Seacliff boys sporting some very questionable moustaches. Wonder whether it's a playoff thing.
They don't mind their moustaches down at Tigerland down south.
Good trap by Cox. Then he will go back. Humphreys out to Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer gets his head up. Then we'll slide it through. Excellent trap by Kane. Kane just leaves it behind though. And Mitchell will pick it up. He will go forward, one-handed. Gets his head up and fires it towards Purvis. Plucks it out the air and then finds Massey. Massey looking for a ball, needs a call, but just decides to drop a gear and go at Tamlin. Then we'll get the circle entry. Good clearance though by Wells. Well, Tamlin will go. Real end-to-end stuff so far.
Very much so. There's very little control for either team. It is basically just run and gun, turnover hockey. Great to watch. I think maybe the coaches wouldn't mind a little bit more of a settled game, but yeah, bring it on, I say.
So Kitto has gone into that sweeper role, which has allowed Tamlin, the accountant, to just step forward. Then he will find a pass out onto that left-hand side. They'll look to get another circle entry, but Cox, like a stone wall, is there. He's going to go. Catches a player. He was waiting for his whistle. And then runs over the top of Benny Batts.
Dan Cox is very much into this contest. He's started very well and having a significant influence on the game.
I think Dan Cox is a player that will get under your skin if you let him.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, he loves a big game, Coxie, and it doesn't get any bigger in SA hockey than this one this evening. Two really strong teams. It's
turnover, high turnover. 2-on-2, 3-on-2 in defensive favour. Fired across goal. Right across the face.
So that was, again, Fraser Bowden. And a few minutes ago I talked about the fact that you like to miss on that side, which he did. Ideally, you'd like someone on that back post. But a good opportunity. It was actually came about from a Lockie Busico turnover. Tried to beat a player in his back third and lost the ball.
The elite goalkeepers that we're seeing today should not be beaten on the near post. So
no.
I mean, percentages are go that far post.
Yep.
Then look to pick up any deflections that you can find. Buzzico again beating people then.
Oh.
Excellent ball from his gut.
Al Oliver. Oh. Just
Kane
outside.
got the stop, but he's given away the free hit. Seacliff go quickly. The question whether he went the 5, I don't think he did.
That was Al Oliver's first really meaningful involvement, and he is a key player for Seacliff. I believe he might have been the player of the grand final last year when these two teams met and scored a couple of goals. So hasn't been in as good a form in recent times, but he's important. He's just coming off for a rest now.
11 goals this year for Al Oliver. Jeez, that was almost like a line change. It was almost like a hockey line change. I think we had about 6 players change then.
Which is why we'll continue to see a fast cracking pace because of the strong rotations.
Obviously, we talk about Adelaide and Hughie Purvis, who's the high performance manager, so you would expect Adelaide to be there or thereabouts fitness-wise.
Oh, very much so. And as are Seacliff, both teams are well prepared, really well coached. Mark DeLauro is, the most experienced coach in the comp. So, both teams are very well prepared.
Just caught the heel of Powerty. Now Cox will go. Manages to beat him. I don't think he did it on purpose, but it worked. Then they will fire it inside. Again, this is being played at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Free hit. Purvis fires it forwards. Massey was close to that one.
Dangerous. When there's a free hit just outside the 23-yard line like that one, there's nothing wrong with that chaos ball into the circle and make the defenders deal with it.
It was fired incredibly hard. Another circle entry. They're all in around there. There's lots of stick clanging, but that's been let go all day.
And that was good umpiring. There was certainly nothing worthy of a free there. So play on was the correct call by Paul Finney.
Purvis again. Excellent stick work. Just beats that one. Then he'll turn it back. Fire it across. No one where they needed to be. Purvis, you can see, is starting to take the reins of this one.
He has. He's worked his way into this game beautifully. I would have liked to have seen Tim Lee maybe expected to come through that pack and try and get a stick on that.
There is that overhead from Mitchell, and then Cox just plucks it out the air. Like it was nothing. Now they're looking to go again, Adelaide. Another free hit. Yeah. Dawson will stand over it.
Maybe sense Adelaide starting to work their way into it, maybe gaining a bit more ascendancy.
You would say they are shading ascendancy at the moment. We seem to be looking left more than we're looking right at the moment.
Correct.
That one goes a long, long way, and Purvis will pick it up. Getting his name called a fair amount at the moment, just a little touch, and Seacliff will pick it up.
That's Jordan Kiddo on the ball there.
He will come back to Tamlin. Tamlin will just send it one more. Lee tries to close him down, and Cox again. Whatever Cox has had for breakfast, it's working.
He's very much a key player in this contest, and his first, 20 minutes has been super impressive.
Tamlin will go all the way across to Kitto. Kitto put under a little bit of pressure from Massey. So they do find an outlet pass. Then they will slide it forward. Ooh. Missed everybody.
That is Jamie Kraku, the left or the defender for Seacliff. Been again part of their premiership teams and grand final losing teams, so a key player.
Purvis was making his way to the interchange bench. And again, far be it from me to tell people how to coach, but you'd want to keep him on there, wouldn't you, surely, at the moment?
You would, although he, judging by the way he looks,
he's run himself into the ground somewhat.
I think a couple of minutes of rest might just be the important thing for Hughie right there.
Tamlin will look. There's not a lot available. Almost playing man for man at the moment, Adelaide, but Powerty with a very clever run, makes his way forward, has got a couple of P's to beat, does well. Now he will make his way into the circle. Powerty's done incredibly well. Now he will look for centre and knock behind, long corner.
Great run by Cooper Powerty.
Incredible work.
Yeah, he's a very skillful young player, and that's what he does best. He loves a bit of 3D, and that was hard to contain and well dealt with in the end, but a dangerous circle entry by Seacliff.
Incredibly dangerous. Tamlin almost left it behind. That allows Adelaide to get a stick. Couldn't quite get it away when he wanted to. There was a break on, just couldn't get it. Tamlin dodged the bullet.
Yeah, it looks like Glenn Tamlin's trying to assert his authority onto the game. He's getting forward now, but it was a decoy run there.
Bats tried to turn it into the circle, and Adelaide just clearing it. I think they just want to rest. They're starting to find themselves under pressure. That's a seesaw. Swung right back the other way now.
Absolutely. I sense that the team that scores the first goal is really important in this contest, the longer it goes, of course, but there's still a long time to go, but that first goal is going to give that team momentum.
You talk defensively, Seacliff only conceded 19 goals this year. That's miserly.
That is miserly, and Adelaide scored over 100 goals, so what a fantastic battle we've got tonight in terms of a high free-scoring, free-flowing team against a miserly defence.
That being said, Seacliff did score 81 goals of their own, so it's not as if they're strangers in the opposition half.
No, they know how to get it done down the other end as well. Both corners, which we haven't seen one of from either team, I believe, which is quite unusual in men's hockey, 25 minutes into a contest.
Oh, there's a deflection. Caught off guard, Glenn. Just snuck past his post.
Yeah, that was Jason Radomski getting a stick on that from the Riverland. And in the end, it went past Damon's far post, but a good effort by Radomski.
He was caught in no man's land. We got another one who's sporting a soccer jersey. Another goalkeeper with a soccer jersey on.
Oh, yes.
That one goes deep. So we are coming up to 10 minutes to go in the first half. Yeah,
the respective supporters on the hill have just had a little bit of a lull for the last minute. So,
that was fired at Lee. Did everything he could to get out of the way with it, but I think he would have needed to be Neo in the Matrix to dodge that one.
He would have. Todd Kiddo, bit of a skill error there. So, giving Adelaide a chance inside their attacking 23.
Purvis will come back to Cox. Cox happy to go back to Humphreys. Good forward pressure from Seacliff. Humphreys out on that right-hand side. Early ball down the right wing. Seacliff have done enough. Fired across to Bats. Bats gets his head up. Good pressure from Purvis, but he manages to go away from Purvis. Doesn't get away from Gray, though. And then Purvis will come back and finish off the job and get the free hit.
Oh, the crowd enjoyed that one, the Adelaide crowd. Fred Gray initially, he's really good defensively, very quick hands, quick feet, and then Huey Purvis got involved and won back possession. So, Adelaide just a little bit more play in their half at the moment.
There's nice 3D skills down that far right-hand wing. Then he will look to come inside. Got it nicked off his stick by his own player. Powardy working hard back there.
Yeah, you don't often see two teammates tackle each other, but there Dawson and Jake Stacey went for the same ball.
Yeah, they went on the same page. Hilditch looking for that baseline. Ball will be a Seacliff ball then.
So long corner here for Adelaide. They'll set up a bit of a ring on the attacking 23. Maybe look to try and transfer the ball to the open side. So that's James Hazer on the ball. He's a young player making his debut in a grand final for the Premier League team with Seacliff. He's had a strong year with Adelaide. Sorry.
Ooh, fired across and at head height. One thing that's interesting is that Purvis seems to find space. You would think that somebody would be running around with him, but he just seems to be able to find space.
He gets into areas that are probably difficult to kind of counter sometimes. So he has some attacking flair, Huey.
Cox again with an incredible tackle on halfway. Then we'll dump it out to the right-hand side. Then they'll come right the way across. Did very, very well to get it out of the air. Then Tamlin carries it on, and then we'll get it back just behind him, so slows him up somewhat. Does enough to get it back. Then we'll continue down that right-hand wing, and Seacliff will have the hit in.
That was a great contest there by Glenn Tamlin. He saw the loose ball in the air and attacked it, and then set up an attacking opportunity going forward.
If you want to see hockey skill at its best, just go back and watch that again. With the overhead flick and then the chop out of the air, and then all of it was good.
Absolutely. Just saw Dan Mitchell there shaping for, looking for the tomahawk. He loves his tomahawks into the circle. He hasn't done one yet, but I reckon we'll see one before the night's out. That's a
nice little reverse pass. Oh, and again, fired, and that one was at Hugh Purvis. Honestly, if we get through tonight with everybody intact, I will be surprised.
Well, and including us, because we're in a bit of a precarious position here. I mean, we've got the best seats in the house as long as there's not a ball that comes our way.
We do have the best seats in the house, and thank you for joining us while we get to watch this wonderful hockey. We'll go out to Krakow. He'll go into the 25. First time that Cox has been really caught out.
Yeah, good opportunity. Matt Morton
just couldn't capitalise on it.
Yeah, almost. He set up a bit of space in behind Dan Cox in the Adelaide defence, but just a skill error enabled the ball to go over the baseline. So Adelaide will start again.
Humphreys. Back to Cox. Gets his head up. Uses the dummy from Lohmeyer and then sends him down the right-hand wing. Just sold it short.
Yeah, Fraser Bowden's quick, but he's not that quick.
No, Rademski had half a look at it and then decided the ball was going to beat them.
Yeah, you can't buy experience.
Nice ball to Mitchell. Mitchell looks to slide it all the way across. And that's Kitto. Kitto will send it forward. Oh, Al Oliver, desperate to get on that score sheet.
I mean, that was beautiful play by Seacliff. Mitchell set it up with a great angle ball and then an angle ball across the face, and Al Oliver basically threw himself at it even before the ball had come. So
I would not like to play poker against Dan Mitchell. That man is possibly the sneakiest man I know. He'd probably have about 3 decks of cards hidden around his person.
I think he would. He's a really important player. In fact, maybe the key for Seacliff tonight.
Great challenge by Massey. Comes down and the Peas can start working forward again. Just ran into a bit of a blind alley, and now Seacliff can come away. They'll go down that left-hand wing, and they will get the free hit. Yeah, they went quickly, but too quickly.
Too quickly there for the umpire to take it back. That was Todd Kitto on the ball. He's enjoying his Vanuatu experience, where a lot of the players play in bare feet over there. So that's one thing he's surprised about.
You wouldn't want to catch a ball on the toe, would you?
No.
That one's fired towards the circle and will come off Rademski's foot. Hugh Purvis will go and get it.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes we've seen some balls, call them chaos balls or lashed into the circle, and Seacliff almost getting on the end of a few of them, the Seacliff strikers.
Cox will fire it forward to Gray. Huge challenge. Came from Al Oliver. And then Buzzico will get him in the back. Whistled. I think he wants to talk to somebody. Oh, he just wants to move the ball back.
Oh, I think
there was no cards in that one.
He did give Buzzico a little watch it. You do that again and I might give you a green card look, I think.
Both Al Oliver and Buzzico both tried to take a chunk out of Gray. Give Gray his credit. He just stood there and took it. Humphreys tried to pick a pass, does to Purvis. Purvis on the baseline, pulls it back, nobody there, but Lohmeyer can come onto it. Will he get it in the circle? He does. Great stick work from Lohmeyer. And it will come higher for Seacliff's stick, but nothing more than a long corner.
Yeah, great opportunity there. The Adelaide Peas moved the ball around and got an opening, but in the end, I think it was actually Matt Baird, who's a striker, who was back in the defensive circle getting a stick on that one.
Inside the final, where there's Mitchell's going to be just given a little bit of a warning. Mitchell, of course, umpires himself as well, so always tough to umpires.
Absolutely, he does umpire himself, and he often umpires games when he's playing. So, but he's been a bit quiet tonight. It's the first time we've.
I don't think he's had a chance to draw back to complain, to be honest.
That might be it.
Purvis will send it out. Then there's that chaos ball. Great save by Mike Wells. That will find its way out. Seacliff will find themselves in the corner.
That was the best chance of the night so far. I think it was Ben Massey who got a touch on that, and Mikey Wells in the right place at the right time, and fantastic save.
We're in the final 5 minutes now. Okay, they weren't squad numbers, but what's been amazing is 1 to 11. Nobody's put a foot wrong on either side.
Oh, it's been a high-quality contest. Two teams, having a really strong go at each other, and neither being able to break each other down at the moment. So I think both coaches will, marshal their troops again at half-time, won't they? And they'll come out and do it again.
It was picked off by Stacey. Now Adelaide can try and launch. Has to fire it. Missed that trap, so Adelaide can start to work down this left-hand side. They're working with Fry. Fry loses out again, but doesn't want to give up, like a little terrier he was.
He was. Well done by
Finally, Cassidy wins out. I've got a feeling there is 22 plus reserves, desperate for that half-time hooter at the moment. They'll need a big breather.
Oh, without a doubt. Dan Mitchell getting ahead here.
Morton will find Mitchell. Here's that tomahawker. Fired it across.
And that's the first time that we've seen Mitchell move from the midfield into, an attacking position. And you saw basically Seacliff's best opportunity just about.
If Holly Evans is watching this, she'll be very upset that Matt Baird didn't find himself on his guts. Bussico picks it out of the air.
Yeah, you can see Buzzico famous for actually not really wearing his mouth guard,
I was
but
about
just
to
chewing
say,
on
I
it.
have no idea what that mouth guard is doing for him.
Yeah, I think it's almost there as a bit of a dummy.
And that's a turnover within the 25. Adelaide have numbers. They get in there, it pops up again. Tamlin does very, very well. And will just ease us out. Still in. Powerdy. Working very hard. Nice reverse ball to Buzzico gets his head up. We'll go back to Tamlin. Tamlin under a little bit of pressure from Purvis, but he finds Mitchell. Mitchell will get his head up. Go back again to Tamlin. Now they will finally get out of there. Again, just sold them a little bit short. Richardson spoused it enough. Now it's gone all the way down there and very nearly ended up with Matt Baird.
Well, Adelaide were pressing hard, and Seacliff had to make repeat, passes, got to play small games almost in their back third there. But in the end, they managed to work it clear.
Close to a minute ago, and Humphreys just nearly lost it. Matt Morton appealed and was given it.
Yes, won the appeal. I think went on the Humphreys' foot with a good press set up by Seacliff, so they may have the last opportunity of the half.
Yeah, Buzzico with his Steph Curry mouth guard. That's what Steph Curry does, but not sure how much help it's going to be if he cops one.
No, well, Steph Curry could afford dental work more than Lockie Buzzico, I think. So.
And I don't think a basketball hurts as much if it hits you in the face, to be honest. We'll go out on that right-hand side. Stacey tries to find that corner, and excellent effort from Angus Fry. Tamlin has a look over his shoulder, has a look at the clock. Don't think they'll mind it going to half-time now.
No, he'll throw this one.
He's gone forward. Manages to make its way through. I don't think anybody will be too bothered by that. Half-time siren. We
Take
can catch our breath. We didn't expect anything less from what we got. We knew what we were getting ourselves into, and we got exactly what we thought we were going to get.
We did. We were anticipating this clash, as were the crowd, and it hasn't disappointed. A fantastic game of hockey in the first half. Both teams very much in the contest, and we still don't know which way it's going to play out.
No penalty corners in an entire half of hockey. I haven't known that in the time that I've been doing Premier League hockey.
That is highly unusual. And so that would be one thing I'm sure the coaches would be saying about, we talk about getting outcomes in the circle, and there's nothing wrong with just knocking into the circle and finding a foot, whereas at the moment neither team has looked like doing that. So both defences have held up well in that regard.
Normally at half-time you would talk about maybe something that either team needs to do to kind of lift themselves. It's been almost faultless. I mean, you could count on the fingers of one hand any mistakes, if there's been any.
Well, I mean, it's been a game of high quality, but probably the one thing that we've had lacking is a lot of genuine chances to score. We've had a lot of balls, strong hits into the circle, crosses. We've had a few touches, one really good one by Ben Massey, which was saved by Wells. But probably just looking for that kind of little bit of quality inside the attacking third, I think.
And of course, thank you very much to Just Hockey, who've been a very, very good sponsor of Hockey SA over the years. They've been looking after lots and lots of players. They're open every weekend, and there is no off-season in hockey. They'll keep going. Some of the things that are keeping going: the October School Holiday Clinics. Go to the Hockey SA webpage. You'll find that there. The Hot Shots Coaching Clinic. Some of the players who are running around today, if you all want you or your kids to go and have a run around with them, $35 per person. Register before the 22nd of September at hockeysa.com.au. 1 hour coaching session with the Hot Shots, and all participants go in the draw to win a signed Hot Shots singlet. I don't know whether I'll get away with being an under 18, but I certainly wouldn't mind that singlet.
That's right.
Of course, the Vale Ale Hill is still pumping. I'm seeing some exceptional fancy dress over there.
There is some good fancy dress over there. The tiger suits particularly, and no one's leaving. And why would you at halftime of this contest?
I've seen Duffman over there. The Duffman is over there. There's some weird stuff going on over there.
Well, as we've talked about, I think quite a few of those revellers have been there for most of the day. So
one of the good things though is I've definitely seen some Forestville players here. They're here, they're supporting hockey. Potentially 35 minutes away from extra time. 35 minutes from crowning the 2017 Premiers. The way it's gone, it's toss a coin. I wouldn't like to call it.
I'm exactly the same. As we've said, there's nothing between these two teams. They tied it during the year with 2 games all. There was a point or two in it at the end of the season in terms of who was minor premier, and we're no closer to knowing who's going to win this game. So I'd be loath to pick a winner right now too, but sometimes half-time changes momentum, and one team may come out with a little bit more possession potentially. So
one of the other things they say when we get to half-time is you kind of say to yourself, well, the team with momentum doesn't want half-time to come, and the team that's possibly under a little bit of pressure will want that half-time. Both of these teams, you would say they want the half-time. There we see some of the Tigers on the hill. Yeah, little baby Tigers. Yeah. Tiger Cups.
That's great. I mean, the hockey community really do support these events, which is fantastic to see. But you're right, Dave. Both, I'm sure both sets of players were thankful for the half-time siren. You can see the Seacliff coach Mark Deloro there imploring his troops to follow out his instructions for 35 more minutes, hopefully for them. And yeah, Dan Mitchell's in the middle there now, as you'd expect.
He's the captain of the Seacliff side, so he'll have his words. Deloro, obviously a very experienced coach, and he'll just hand that over to Dan Mitchell because he's his general on the field. Once they cross that white line, Mark Deloro can do very little. You can yell and scream as much as you want from that sideline.
Absolutely, and Steve Button's the same. I mean, the Adelaide coach, they have both got really good leadership in their teams. You know, we talk about Dan Mitchell, Matt Morton, Glenn Tamlin, etc. Al Oliver on the Seacliff team, Michael Walls. But on the Adelaide team, you've got similar experienced players like Purvis and Cox and Lohmeyer and Bowden.
And exactly as we see, Hugh Purvis now takes over that huddle, and he'll look after them, and he's their general on the field. That being said, you can add in Dan Cox, and Lohmeyer looks like he's got a very, very strong head on his shoulders as well. They got hot shots right throughout both of these teams.
Oh, we have. But then we've also got young guns, and sometimes it's that young player who steps up in these contests, and so there are good young strong players in both teams, so maybe one of them that pops up.
Well, one of them is bound to be Fred Gray, the rising star, 2017 rising star, and under-16 Australian boys team went to South Africa, so he's played at a national level. The under-18 national future squad for 2017, so the future is very, very bright for this young man. And he's really starting to put his stamp on that midfield. The battle that he's having with Lucky Busico at times is incredible.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think in the end he worked his way into it. Busico had a really strong start, but Gray worked his way into it. But yeah, Busico also a key for Seacliff. He's off to make his Australian under-21 debut in Malaysia in a couple of weeks' time. So he's also got a very bright future.
So if you look at the Hockey SA Team of the Year, Dan Mitchell, Al Oliver, Lockie Bustico, Glyn Tamlin, Michael Wells, all from Seacliff, all in that Team of the Year. From Adelaide, Fraser Bowden, Dan Cox, Tim Lee. So the vast majority of the players out there are the best players in their position.
Yeah, which is why these two teams were the standout teams of the year. Forestville, did well to come from having not played finals for a while to make a prelim. But Adelaide showed that they were ready for this contest last week, and here we are ready for one more half of hockey.
Sean Dawson finally got a ball he liked, and we were off and running. We were just waiting on Shawnee. You've seen this in the Metro 1 men's. Just put it in that corner and build your press from here.
Yeah.
Make Seacliff come out.
Yeah, I think it's a smart ploy.
They'll leave that one to Tamlin. Came off an Adelaide stick, so they'll just move a little bit down the line. Kind of a hush drops over the State Hockey Centre. I think what's kind of happened is everyone's gone, okay, we just need to process that first half and let's see whether they can do it again. Yeah, I think so. You're exactly right. It is a kind of an eerie hush, but I don't think it'll remain for long. Probably not. I mean, it's a slow start to the game with some repeat free hits, but yeah, I'm sure the game will pick up pace very shortly. Tamlin gets his head up, goes with the overhead. Mitchell plucks it out of the air beautifully. Then we'll look to beat Purvis, which he does. He'll enjoy the bragging rights of that one. He will. He will. He'll let him know about it too. Certainly will. He'll probably still be letting him know about it in 6 months' time. Mitchell goes all the way over the top. Matt Baird. He brought it out the sky, Matt Baird, but Tim Lee manages to come away with it. Good challenge by Bussico. Then it will come back to Baird. Baird probably wanted more time than he was allowed. Humphreys has people moving for him in front of him. One of them is Lee. Does very, very well to get a stick on it. Todd Kitto. Certainly the time away in Vanuatu hasn't done him any harm. No, he's been out on the pitch with the Vanuatu group that he's looking after. He's actually, I think he's looking to take them to the Oceania Cup in a couple of weeks' time. His men's group in Sydney with a hockey fives competition. So yeah, he's loving his time over there. But I'm sure he's loving being out here tonight. Humphreys fires it forward. This does have a different feel to it at the start of this one. It's almost as if both the coaches have got them in and said, chill out. Let's start playing a little bit of hockey. Which we talked about in the first half. Didn't happen. The game was frantic and it was turnover and it was one team's turn after another, whereas it looks like it may have settled down a bit, although we're 2.5 minutes in. So again, that will come off the stick. Bussico will pick it out of the air, but there's an Adelaide player there, so they'll get the free hit. What's interesting is this is probably the same sort of speed start that we see in the Premier League, but the first half was so fast, this feels slow. Oh yeah, definitely. Fired in again. Massey again puts himself in places where angels fear to tread. He certainly hasn't lost any of his courage after that accident, and it's great to see him out there. But a dangerous ball by Cox, just looking for anything, a touch, a foot from Seacliff. As we've talked about, corners will be vital in this second half, with neither team yet to earn one. Mitchell will throw it forward to Morton. Morton loses out to Purvis. Purvis comes back and then Morton gives away the free. Adelaide will go quickly, fire it all the way across to Stacey. Stacey gets his head down, will work into the circle. Again, nothing given. Both of these defence have been incredibly clean in the circle. Well, that was very well done by, it was a bit of a double team between Lachlan and Buzzgo, and in the end, Todd Kitto shaved the ball away. That's one-way ticket to not very far. Yeah, that wasn't, who was it? Sean Dawson, I think, wasn't his finest moment. It certainly wasn't. We'll give him one. Back to Tamlin. Pressure from Massey again. Lohmeyer loped after it and then decided it was going to go away. Yep, both teams, as you've talked about, Dave, pretty cautious in the first 4 or 5 minutes, and yeah, yet to really establish any ascendancy. Seacliff with a long corner opportunity. Mitchell will get his head up. Boy, he dwelt on it. Purvis will get him back. Now there is a chance of a break. Mitchell working hard to get back there. Purvis uses his body well. Now he'll get his head up. Sends it out to Humphreys. Humphreys looking forward, but decides to come back to Purvis. Purvis has got Busico in his way. Just eases away from them. And he will send it forward to Stacey. Stacey starts moving forward and will get the free hit.
Oh, that was a great battle between Mitchell and Purvis.
I think Purvis got him back.
Purvis did get him back.
Bowden, reverse on the again. You would seem that it's a tactic. They're just going to fire it at that back post and hope one of their players can get there. Massey seems to be the one who they're putting in the firing line.
Yeah,
he's already hurt. He can't get any more hurt, can he?
That's right. He has got a mask on. Angus Fry is also probably one of the best players on that pitch for getting touches to balls like that. But it has become quite an apparent thing that Adelaide seem to be doing by getting the ball into the circle. I mean, it's a matter of time before something happens with one of them, as we've talked about. But they'd also be looking to construct some attacks too and maybe get some depth and get along the baseline.
Lohmeyer fires it. Mitchell does well.
Oh, he did that with ease, Mitchell.
There's his tomahawk.
There's the famous tomahawk that we've talked about.
He does love it. I actually spent an evening when he was looking after the women's under-21s. Spent probably about half an hour watching Dan Mitchell coach the slide and how much detail he puts into those skills.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He's not only an umpire and a player, he's also a great young coach. So I had the privilege of coaching with him with that under-21 group, and yeah, his knowledge was obvious.
Gray does incredibly well and then finds Kane. Ball's bouncing around and Kane will come away with it. Kane will get his head up. Look down the line to Massey. Cut out by Seacliff. Now they will try and break out of there. He fires it down the line. Cut out by Humphreys. Humphreys will reverse his field, then look back to Cox. Cox has got Lohmeyer back if he needs it. He finds him. And they will come all the way out this side to Bowden. Bowden sent it forward. Powerdy can cut it out. Powerdy just gets his head up, looks for options, finds Mitchell. Mitchell against Kane, win the free hit. Mitchell looked to fire it forward. Gray got the stick in the way. Now we're starting to ramp up again. Bowden goes forward, sends Stacey on a run. Then we'll go and try and get it back. Then fire it across. It's still there. It's bouncing around. And Stacey had a swing and it just couldn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, really excellent build-up by Adelaide. Fraser Bowden heavily involved. Angus Fry was on the end of it, but again, Seacliff dealt with it well.
It just seems like the attackers from both sides are panicking when they get their circle entry. We go back and talk about adrenaline and whether it's too high or not. They just need to take a breath, slow everything down.
Yeah, and I also think credit to the defences. I think both defences have held up really well. I mean, one of the highly important parts of a strong hockey team is the way in which they defend their circle, and both teams have done that very well this evening.
So Adelaide will range forward again with Dawson. Dawson will send it to Stacey. Good battle out there on that right-hand side.
Connor Richmond's spouse there did very well. Young lad, 19 years old, I think.
Tamlin sends it forward. Gray plucks it out the air, showing why he's getting the plaudits that he's getting. Then he just wanted to go a little bit too much. He's on his own. He's got to look for support to come. Sends it backwards and might turn it over. Sensible work from Angus Fry. Let it go. We'll reset.
Yeah, he did.
If he turned and went, he was all on his own. Kane fires it forward. Humphrey's got a stick on it outside the circle. But again, just that chaos ball towards the circle.
Absolutely. James Humphreys getting into an attacking position, and Max Menadue before had won a good press there. Lockie Buzico was steaming forward, but he actually popped it back behind him, and their opportunity was lost.
Tamlin out to Richmond's spouse, who's trying to get involved more. Massey gets it, but illegally. So Richmond's spouse will have stand over the free hit, and he will leave it to Busico. Busico slides it in field, and they will come out onto this side to Kitto. Kitto with his head up, sends it further down the line to Matt Morton. Matt Morton will send it down there, and that will go out for a 16-yard hit.
That was a bit of, I mean, a hopeful ball. You often get a striker down in those corners of the field, but Adelaide will start again from the back with Dan Cox, who's probably had a quieter 10 minutes to start this half, and he'll look to assert himself on the half.
He hasn't had to do as much, which will please him.
Yes.
Good slide down that line, though, to Bowden. Bowden turns Busico inside out, then kind of loses his footing, but keeps going, and then we'll send it out to the left-hand side to Humphreys. Humphreys will send it down the line to Dawson. Cut out, though, by Mitchell.
Fraser Bowden's starting to get influential. If he gets the ball in space, he's dangerous. As we talked about, he'd be the fastest athlete out there tonight.
Again, the chaos ball. And what's really interesting is the goal threats in Al Oliver. We haven't really called his name.
No, probably the one moment was when the ball flashed across the circle and he dived to try and get onto it.
Another circle entry for Adelaide. And again, they managed to miss the foot. And a 16 actually saw Tamlin lift his foot out of the way of it.
Yeah, and that's clearly a genuinely smart thing that a good defender will do. So he just retreated a little bit, gave himself a bit of distance, and then let the ball go over the baseline.
He knew that they were going to be looking for a foot, so
yeah,
smart playing. That's why he's back there. That's why he's the accountant.
Yeah, and he was almost the player of the year. I think it was Curtis Wilson who came from nowhere at the end and got 3 votes in his last game to beat him. So another really good season from Glenn Tamlin, who is, the heart and soul of this team, or one of the really strong players.
Overhead down the line. Lee just couldn't get it, so Seacliff will be able to come away.
Yeah, both benches continuing to rotate heavily, which means that we can continue the pace of the game. It's probably not as frantic, though. I think it's just settled down a little bit, and I guess now you're starting, to play with a little bit of fear about if we concede one. So you'd like both teams to continue to be open and attacking, but it's probably going to change focus a little bit, I think.
Cox does well, and then sent it to Purvis, and Purvis looked to send it down the left-hand line.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's hard to see which team is going to break it open. At the moment, there's not a lot of midfield ascendancy.
There isn't, and both defences have been very, very good so far. Nice first-time touch. Beats the Adelaide sticker, Humphreys, but will go out harmlessly. 16-yard hit, I think.
But yeah, you mentioned Dave Al Oliver's name before, and it only takes just a little bit of magic from a player like that can just turn this game. So even if you've been quiet, anything can happen at any moment with Al Oliver on the pitch.
And Massey has been inches away on occasion,
yes.
So same with him. It's just, it is going to be, that's probably what's going to win this game, is just a moment. Byline trying to keep it in, 16-yard hit. We've had one threatened short corner, and that's been it.
We have, exactly. But right on cue there, Al Oliver got involved and found Menadue, I think, on the baseline, but ball just went over the baseline.
Purvis again given the responsibility for bringing Adelaide out of defence. Sent it forward to Stacey. Lee's going to chase it. Gets there. Has support in Humphreys. Decides he doesn't need him and goes for the baseline and another long corner.
Well done by Todd Kiddo stepping up there. Tim Lee got past the first tackler in Richmond's spouse, but Kiddo dealt with it.
So 21 minutes and change to go in this one. They got trapped underneath everybody, and Seacliff will get to go away.
I think that's the first green card of the night.
There's the first green card of the night. That's going to be Sam Hilditch. Looks at Nathan Jennings to say, "What, me, ref?" But yes, young man, it is you. You're going to go and spend some time in the naughty chair.
And it was fair enough, a fair enough decision. The ball was knocked away, and Seacliff have actually had a good record against Adelaide this year, scoring when they've had the extra player. I mean, easier when it's a yellow card and it's 5 minutes plus, but it's like a power play at the moment for Seacliff.
I think he was trying to tell Mr. Jennings that he couldn't hear him, and to be honest, that's not a bad defence tonight.
That is a good defence. with the hill starting to get more vocal again.
Oh, he's just run himself into trouble, Humphreys, but gets away with it and gets the free hit. Lohmeyer.
I just see.
How's it look? One thing I love about Lohmeyer, Nick Lohmeyer, is, I mean, he is one tall human being. So when he stands up to look, he can see everything. And excellent ball has found its way through to Dawson. Fry gets his head up. He's probably going to try and work down into that corner. Does get that circle entry. Powered, he does well to cut it out. Oh. I think he's just caught that, hopefully on the top of his leg and nowhere else.
It might have been right on the kneecap potentially, but Adelaide have got a free hit now.
I hope it's on the kneecap because it was in a dangerous area. Stacey has Humphreys back down the line if he wants him. They decide to go into that corner. Purvis fires it across, and again Kitto played out to Tamlin, and it'll be another long corner. Fred Gray has made his way back into the fray. He'll go back to Cox. Cox again, look for that chaos ball, was blocked though. Oh, there's a solid challenge, but Cox keeps going. And keeps going and takes another Tiger with him. Now they're playing advantage. Powerty can come away. There's a spare runner over here. Then they'll look back, and now, oh, the Lohmeyer probably has a stick longer than anybody else's, you would suggest.
Well, nickname of reach, I think. So, and his reach came into play there with a counter-attack opportunity for the Seacliff Tigers. Great physical battle, and before that with Dan Cox involved.
Tamlin will come across to Buzzico. He'll go back to Tamlin. Buzzico down the line to Kraku. Sends it in field. Lohmeyer again.
Oh,
Purvis is beaten. Now that Seacliff will get a circle entry. Fire it across the front. Nobody's there. And again we go. Excellent control by Lee. Just couldn't manage to beat Kitto. I think that's Kitto over there.
I'd be interested to see the number of circle entries for both teams. There's been a lot of balls in the circle tonight, and very few shots and no corners. And you know, we're at a situation now where is it going to be a great piece of skill, or is it going to be a defender's error that something's going to turn this game?
Purvis goes forward, loses possession. There's a break on, but Adelaide have got the numbers back. And the ball goes in midfield, and Humphreys can send it out.
Menadue number 11 has been dangerous for Seacliff of late. He's won the ball in the press well.
Plus a go against Massey. Good high pressure again from Adelaide, making them do the work. Good 3D skills from Buzzico. Beats Massey. Then the free hit will go to Adelaide's way.
I can't take it from there.
Well, Darren Nimke is away to our right. He's coding this game. He's done a lot of work for Adelaide Hockey Club and coding the stats. And it does look like there's smoke coming from his little stats machine to the number of circle entries there have been.
May well be. Yeah, no, he's worked with Steve Button this year.
Fired forward, nice little reverse ball from Stacey, just didn't manage to go anywhere. Purvis will put pressure on. Stacey will lose that one, and Seacliff will come away with it.
Maybe a little lucky to get away with that. Jake Stacey might have knocked that one away, but Nathan Jennings gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Tamlin will take over. Nice little lift over to Kraku. Now it's Cox. Will pick it up. Fire it down the line. Then again to Purvis. Seacliff player goes down and goes down hard. That's Al Oliver. Slow getting up. Not entirely sure where he's hurt. He's just had the wind knocked out of him. I think that might just be it.
I actually didn't see that. The screen in front of me blocked me, but
there was a collision. I think it might have been with Mr. Cox, and people generally come off second best from that, and there is a bit of claret coming out of Al Oliver.
Yeah, I think I might have just heard Coxie check in to see if he was all right, which is good sportsmanship.
think if Cox ran into a wall, the wall will come off second best at times.
With hockey being a non-contact sport, Cox finds ways to create contact at times, and to be honest, so does Al Oliver. So it's not surprising that those two players
Mitchell fires
came
it
to blows.
forward. Gray does very, very well. Just rolls around and starts to go forward. Just did a little bit too much.
I'm thinking that Matt Morton might have injured himself there, and he's a key player. He got a hat trick for Seacliff in the first final a couple of weeks ago, but the way he didn't chase and then came off and threw his stick into the dugout, I sense that he may have had a muscle injury there.
Busico will pick it up and he will enter the Adelaide half. Now he will go forward, get his head up, drops it inside. Mitchell wanted a little bit too much time. Cox eases himself into that, and then they will try and find down the line, but Mitchell gets his stick on it, finds Batts. Batts turns it over, but it will be a free hit.
I can just hear and see the Adelaide coach Steve Button getting a little bit vocal down in front of us. So he's sensing that with 15 to go, it's game on here. We haven't seen Mark Deloro come out for his dugout yet.
He's right down in front of us. The screen is blocking you, but he's
There
right
he
down
is.
in front of us. Tamlin will pick that up. Purvis comes. What's been interesting is there's been a couple of Seacliff players that come off and thrown their stick in apparent frustration. Don't know why at the moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, right now that's still very much all to play for.
Cox again puts body on the line. Seacliff go quick and I mean, it can't be understated the amount of work that Dan Cox has got through tonight, and he's shot everything down that's come anywhere near him.
He has been very good, and I guess with Cox at one end and Tamlin at the other, that goes a long way to saying why there hasn't been a corner and not a whole lot of opportunities despite the high quality of the game.
And you know, people say, how can you enjoy a game that can finish 0-0? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching one of the best games of hockey that we've seen all year, and it is 0-0.
Yeah, without doubt, this is the fastest and most skillful game of hockey that's been played this year, and rightly so, it's the grand final.
I mean, Dan Cox he still looks fresh.
Yeah.
Like he played in the Australian indoor team from 2008 to 2014, so he also has some international experience.
Oh, yeah, and he's been a fixture in this Adelaide team for many years, also a fixture with the South Australian hotshots who go away in a couple of weeks. And as he's got more experience, he's moved back in the pitch. Now he's commanding at centre back. I don't think he'll go any further back, but yeah, he's found his niche back there.
Lomar will send it down the line to Stacey. Stacey will look to get to the byline. Will get the circle entry. And now there is space there. Ball is still bobbling around in front. And a Seacliff free hit and a little bit of afters. Ben Massey living up to his massive nickname. Stepping in to protect his teammate.
Yeah, the big frame of Massey. A brilliant run by Jake Stacey. And
you threw your hands up in exasperation, not for any other reason than it's almost unbelievable that we can have the ball bobble around in the circle like that and not have a short corner.
I keep thinking it's going to happen at some point down one end. There's going to be a mistake. There's going to be a piece of skill. But at the moment, defences have just commanded this contest.
Mitchell trying to take on a couple and beats a couple, gets into the 25, gets his head up, then finds Cox. Cox obviously had his cloaking device on there. Now they can come away. But again, defensively, both sides haven't been caught short. A Peace player goes down, roars of disapproval. Now we're going to have a stop.
And there's a card here. Paul Finney's noticed something off ball here.
Fred Gray, and there's a Seacliff player on the floor there. So, not sure who that is coming off.
So that's Cassidy coming off.
Cassidy coming off for Seacliff. Who's that? Is that Spouse? Richmond Spouse, who was slow getting up over on that far side?
Yeah, and now he's coming off, looking a little bit ginger, as we see him on screen there. So the game has certainly got an edge to it now.
Certainly has. What we like to see.
Well, they're actually good news for Seacliff. I can see number 33, Matt Morton, standing, looking as though he's ready to come back on. So
and
maybe
the old interchange sneak works again, but they will manage to fire it and get that circle entry. Long corner.
just it's great sitting here. We're sitting right above the interchange area, and the intensity of the players and the coaches is just going up with every minute.
So I think we've had a change of jersey for Al Oliver. Must have had blood on it.
Okay, must have been that contest we saw recently. Yep.
So he's now got the 15 shirt on. Go and frame that one, young man. Battle scars. Again, it's incredibly tight down there. Powered, he did everything he could.
Yeah, there's little time or space for any player out there at the moment. And
10 minutes to go. There is Hugh Purvis. Angus Fry. So can Adelaide do anything with this one-man advantage? Again, that interchange sneak works very, very well. Lohmeyer will go back to Cox. And they will send it out to Humphreys. Humphreys will send it down the line. Look for another circle entry. As with the first half, we're looking at the Seacliff defensive end more than anything else at the moment. Seacliff will get the free hit and be able to come away.
Yep, and again, you've got Cox down one end and Tamlin there making a really important tackle, but both incredibly important for their two teams.
Mitchell has dropped back into that sweeper role now. Then he will send it out to Kitto. Kitto closed down very quickly by Hilditch.
Yeah, Mitchell's probably gone back there whilst Seacliff still down 10 men potentially. He's just come back on now, so they're back to 11. So you'll probably see Mitchell move back into the midfield in a minute.
And Al Oliver has entered the fray again. Mitchell will stay there and then go over the top. Well, they let that one go, which is surprising. There was two players in the vicinity, but Lohmeyer fires it forward.
Oh.
And the free hit will go Seacliff's way. Kreku gets his head up early, sends it in field, just behind Al Oliver.
Well, I think they actually looked for Menadue's stick, who was looking for a little redirect to Oliver, but went straight through him.
Wonderful trap by Stacey, just couldn't get it at the second ask. Again, slid forward to Morton. Morton versus Cox. Cox will win that little battle. Down there in front of those Adelaide signs. Oh,
yep.
Tim Lee did everything he could, and I think he did enough to put off Dan Mitchell.
Yep, and we've got some banging of the signs now with inside the last 10 minutes.
I tell you what, my hat off to the manufacturer of these signs, because they take a punishment during this
They do take a battering.
And they stand year after year. Should make iPhone screens out of the stuff they're made from.
That's true.
Very, very close from Lohmeyer. Gray finds himself backed into a corner. Still there, still working hard. Here. He is, got to be careful. And he has turned it over. It's always going to be an issue. Now they can get going forward. Now Seacliff can get it. They are on the back stick. Fires it towards goal. It's still there and it'll come out the other way. I think Humphreys kept it in.
Oh, well.
It looked like it was going over and Humphreys got to stick to it and kept it in.
Well,
huge collision between two Adelaide players.
And in the end, that was Al Oliver, who we talked about was just waiting for his moment. In fact, I remember a goal that he scored very similar to that for South Australia here on this same pitch a few years ago, and that was a big opportunity.
Tamlin started to go. You can feel Seacliff starting to wind it up now as we are in the final 10 minutes of this one. Greco will come and have a rest. And Richmond Spouse has shaken off whatever issue he had, and he's just pushed that just behind Hilditch. As we see that circle entry again, and then the tomahawk, and I think it's going over until Humphreys puts a stick on it.
Yeah, or it might have been the Lang left glove, I'm not sure, but in the end it was a chance for Al Oliver, and he can do the impossible sometimes, so he'll be thinking about that one.
Tamlin sends it forward, and then Hugh Purvis just sends it down as far as he can, just to allow Adelaide the time to resettle and reset.
Well, 7.5 minutes, and if we're 0-0 at the end, we go to 7.5 either way of golden goal. So in a way, as a coach and as a player at this point of the game, you almost kind of feel that it's a bit golden goal as it is. I mean, it doesn't end the game, but a goal now could potentially win the premiership. So yeah, both teams will be
probably call it a gold leaf goal.
Gold leaf, exactly.
A little bit like gold, but not quite.
Yeah, maybe gold plated.
Again, that will go forward. Buzzico misses it in the air. Stacey can pick it up. Then he'll just drop it off, try to find Massey. Adelaide will pick it up, then fire it in into the circle, but again, just nowhere near.
So I think that was McPhail.
He's already played a game today, young Mr. McPhail.
Yep, so first time we've seen him out there, I think. Oh.
Off the hand of Tamlin. Again, good work. Make sure that hand's above your waist. You'll get the free hit then.
Mitchell dangerous with his aerials, but he looks like he'll just transfer this one.
Ben McPhail was a goal scorer in the Metro 1 final.
Yep, which Port ended up winning 2-1, I believe.
Adelaide did well, everything they could to come back, just couldn't quite get there. Busico is over the top of Busico. That's not going to... Well, free hit has gone to Adelaide. 2 players in the vicinity of that overhead.
Yeah, well, Dawson was under that one and received it, and then Mitchell came in. So that was the correct decision. So yeah, we can hear the crowd behind us starting to get a little bit more vocal.
This will send it down, and again, circle entry denied. Long corner. This is incredible, and I think if we can at some point catch the attention of Darren Nimke, try and find out how often do games go all the way through without a penalty corner.
Oh, very rarely. I can't give a percentage on it, and maybe not even Nimke could, but...
well, if anyone could, he could. If anyone can, the stat man can.
Correct.
Richmond Spouse will go back to Tamlin. Purvis will put a little bit of pressure on Tamlin. Tamlin cool as a cucumber, back to Richmond Spouse. He'll get his head up. Good press. Comes off the stick of McPhail, sorry.
That is McPhail, correct. Mikey Wells got the lid up, as they call it, when the keepers. He loves to pull his helmet up and let his teammates know what's happening. So he's talked about the last 5 minutes.
Purvis again. Sends it over the top. Massey didn't get hold of it, but it comes off Richmond Spouse's stick. Now Adelaide could go. Oliver came across, put the pressure on. Again, Purvis is in acres of space over on this near side.
He is. And
Mitchell goes right through the back of Dawson.
So Mitchell's going to get a card for this. And he's off for the rest of the game. So
well, that's huge.
That is huge. So it's the last 4.5 minutes and probably a 5-minute yellow. So 30 minutes of extra time if it gets 30 seconds of extra time if it gets to that.
Well, Mitchell put his hands up as if to say, "What me, sir?" But he went right through the back of Dawson.
He did. Yeah, Dan Mitchell often has a differing opinion than the one that was given to him. However, the crowd behind Paul Finney, certainly went up, and sometimes the umpires get influenced by that as well.
Cox will send it back to Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer will fire it out.
So will Adelaide be brave enough with that extra player now to try and open them up? I mean, Seacliff, you'd think, would just be hanging on now for the last 4 minutes.
I mean, as we say, that Seacliff will look for a break. Dawson again looking to cover back. First time that we've seen Cox really get beaten, and there will be a free hit. So we're getting close to the end of this one. Seacliff can launch an attack from here. I was just about to say you could feel confident in pushing with Cox and Lohmeyer back there, and then Cox gets beaten.
Yeah,
Busico,
which has been a rarity this game.
Goes all the way through. The other thing by missing Mitchell is they've lost their playmaker to a certain extent.
Well, they've lost their playmaker, but as importantly, they've lost their organiser. He's with voice and also the way in which he plays himself. So it's a key loss. 3 more minutes to go.
Go down the line. Purvis against Tamlin. Tamlin does very, very well. Both appeal, but it will be an Adelaide ball. They'll go back to Cox. Cox will go out to Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer will get his head up early. Now look to find a pass from somewhere. Thought about coming right the way back across the field, but they've decided to go down into that left-hand corner. Adelaide will look. Again, try and get that circle entry. Just misplays that pass, and Tamlin can come away. There's contact again. Fraser Bowden goes for a ride and gets punished. Tamlin will get his head up.
Great contest again by Tamlin. Adelaide were shifting the ball, which they like to do when there's an extra player. But Tamlin just stepped up and used his authority.
Buzzico will get going forward, and then he will get the return, and he will knock it past Cox. But there is an Adelaide defender there, and they will play it out for a long corner. Parody was asking about a short corner. I think if you haven't had one all night, to get one for that would have been a little bit unfair.
No.
But the Tigers fans have made their way down to the side, so the noise coming across from that side of the park is close to deafening.
Oh, it's a great atmosphere.
Seacliff will look down the byline. Cox gets beaten again. He's going to keep going. Keeper gets a foot on it. Still bouncing around in there. Lohmeyer will swing it away. And then we'll get rid. Short corner. First one of the day. Minute and a half to go. Al Oliver is the threat here.
And I must admit, I have no idea what it's for.
I think he swung and didn't contact. And then he's caught a player. I think if we watch on the replay, Lohmeyer has a swing at the ball, misses it, but collects a Seacliff player.
Well, potentially. I think
you wouldn't want to lose on that, would you?
I think the officiating umpire and Finney may not have seen it initially. It may have been overruled by Jennings.
He did point again to Jennings.
And so the clock's running. There's 54, 3
in the final minute.
seconds to go.
Seacliff, you would think are timing it. Well, there'll be Adelaide fans who just cannot look at the TV right now.
I mean, how ironic. The first corner of the match is inside the last 30 seconds of the game.
Will put it in.
And Seacliff, what they've done is they've set up a skinny battery in terms of the numbers. So what they don't want to happen is the ball to then go down the other end and get scored again. So they've only got 4 on the circle's edge.
Parody is there. Buzzico is there.
This will be Buzzico's moment.
Morton is injecting. 3-1 on the line. Cox is there. Lohmeyer is there. Hush comes over the State Hockey Centre. Injection comes. Good trap. There it is! That's the goal! 19 seconds to go. You called it. Buzzico fires it in.
Well, and that's the match. The clock's running. Adelaide are desperate to get the ball, but we've got 6 seconds on the clock. They're not going to be able to make the restart. So Buzzico has won the game for Seacliff in the last 30 seconds.
So ladies and gentlemen, for the second year running, Seacliff win it in absolutely dramatic fashion. Incredibly dramatic fashion. Jeff's Cross once again is Tigerland. And look at them go.
Oh, there is a pile on. You've got the Peas just looking absolutely out on their feet. They can't believe what's happened.
Both teams
we'll see. We get a replay of the short corner. Excellent job. Buzzico with a drag flick. Fires it to the right-hand side of the keeper. Michael Wells has been fantastic all day. Just see whether we've got a replay of what led to the short corner and see whether we can have a look at that again. Because that's going to be a talking point.
And
here it is now. Can't see it. The only thing I can see is Lohmeyer following through.
Oh, and to be honest, if that's what it was for, I'm not certain that I would have been blowing that as an umpire. However, they may have seen something that we didn't. And in the end, the game was won and lost on that one single corner.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, they have to end. If you are an Adelaide fan, that's a cruel way to end.
That is.
If you're a Seacliff fan, a win is a win.
Well, I mean, we were all just getting ready for goal
you've been caught on the hop because you do have to do your votes.
I do.
And you got caught on the hop because I think we were all getting ready to get ready for extra time. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't. The only short corner of the game, and let's be honest, Buzzico was one of the players who came off and looked frustrated, and I couldn't understand why. And then he has stepped up.
Buzzico's flick, obviously he'll be very happy with it. It was a winning goal, but it was a fantastic flick, and it was really rifled, and it was a hard spot to save, and in it went.
They say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, and Buzzico picked his spot, went there. Incredible. Seacliff again, back to back.
Back to back for the Seacliff Tigers. Yes, absolutely.
It's a heartbreaker. Last year we saw them go down quite heavily. Adelaide went down quite heavily in the grand final.
I think it was 5-1, and nothing of the sort tonight. This was just a ding-dong battle with, potentially Adelaide maybe even shading possession.
That would hurt more.
Oh, this is a killer way to end the season.
Steve Button away to our right-hand side has his hands on his head.
Well,
it's games like this where you wish that you could just saw the shield in half and give it them both.
Oh, I know. And, as we talked about at the start of the match, these two teams knew that this game was looming all year, and you were always going to have one absolutely elated team and the other one just completely deflated. But even more so, the way in which it finished inside the last 30 seconds with a potentially contentious umpiring decision. Although, they're the men who are officiating. They may have seen something else. So,
we'll try and get some confirmation as to what the short corner was for. But the only one of the game, it's incredible to go through that and just have one penalty corner.
Oh, absolutely incredible. And then it's incredible that it happened in the last 30 seconds and was scored.
And it was essentially the last touch of the ball. As the Tigers go and celebrate with their fans, the Adelaide fans are absolutely distraught.
Yes. And there's Matt Baird just hogging a bit of the screen. So Mark Deloro's, he's up and about, he's walking off and waving and pointing at something, maybe family member or something. So, what a great moment for him. It's hard to win one premiership, let alone go back to back.
And he's done it again. He's had his say and then he'll hand it over to his players. It's a sign of a good coach. He's done his job. Go and enjoy your night.
Oh, and as you said, he's a fantastic coach and a fantastic man who understands.
We had confirmation that the short corner was for a foot.
Okay. So clearly they saw the foot, so we assume it's there, and Lachlan Buzzico did the rest. So, you do feel for Steve Button and his Adelaide troops. They've had a brilliant season, and this game clearly could have gone either way, and in the end, one opportunity for Seacliff, they took it, and they're singing their song as we speak.
They are from Tigerland, and it's what must be one of the closest grand finals in the history of Hockey South Australia.
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago, one of these premierships, Seacliff won in penalty strokes, so it went to extra time. There wasn't a winner, and then penalty strokes. But to win with the last, basically, it was the last strike of the game. I don't think the ball was even got back to the centre line. So, yeah, they are absolutely jubilant. Seacliff.
It was working. Michael Wells in the Seacliff goal, he looks drained.
He wouldn't be the only one.
No, well, to be honest with you, I'm feeling a little bit I've been through the ringer as well. It's been an incredible 70 minutes of hockey. Heart goes out to the Adelaide Hockey Club. Seacliff, it just comes, and we'd said in that second half it's going to come down to a moment.
And it did. And you're right, that you've got to give strong credit to, as we've said, not only the winners, but the Adelaide Hockey Club this evening. Not only this evening, but all year. And Steve Button in the way in which he marshalled his troops. It was just a game of heavyweights, really. And one team had to win it.
And it was the standard of hockey. And there is Mark Deloro giving his, for the final time in 2017, just giving his debrief. It's been an incredible year of hockey. We are at an end. While we are waiting for the teams to set up, I would just like to give some personal thank yous. I can't name all of you, but anybody who's done any sort of co-commentary with me, Tim, Kiwi, Jig has done it, Holly Evans has done it, Darry Nimke has done it. If I've missed you off, I apologise profusely. Brody Gleeson has done some with me, Emily Grist has done some with me. If I missed you off, I apologise profusely. Thank you very much to Katrina Ramford, who gave me this job and has looked after Hockey SA and has stepped up into that general manager role. Josie Rebay, who basically makes sure I'm fed and watered every time I come to Jeps Cross. Thank you very much to everybody involved with Spacequake Sports, all the camera operators. Dan and Lewis are our up top cameras tonight. Nicola and Debbie are our end cameras, and out in the middle we have Justin. And of course, none of this would happen without the absolutely wonderful David Muggleton, who sits away to our right. He has to deal with internet issues on an almost weekly basis, and we work through it to make sure that we can bring you the best hockey in the state. Thank you very much for the whole year. And most importantly, I'd like to thank everybody who watches, the number of people who watch from all sorts of places across South Australia. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you for joining us every time we come and play hockey. What we will do is we will step out and we will hand down to our field announcer, Jason Hyam, and we'll say thank you very much to Tim for joining us for this one.
Thank you, Dave. It's been a pleasure.
I'd like to acknowledge this land that we meet on today as the traditional lands for the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also pay respects to the Kaurna people as the custodians of the Adelaide region and to the cultural authority of Aboriginal people visiting from other areas of South Australia and Australia present here. To both teams this evening, well, congratulations, gentlemen. All the way down to the last few seconds, we really thought we were going to go to extra time there. Really, you guys, everybody had opportunities tonight. Everybody, unfortunately, couldn't take them. The pressure out there, the excitement, the crowd out there was fantastic. So, to both teams, congratulations on a fantastic game of hockey out here tonight. To the coaches and the managers for the hours of planning, training, chats that you have outside of training hours with each other and with the players. Those things don't get taken into account. So a very big thank you to all coaches and managers out here today. Congratulations to you. I would like to welcome back Mr. James Blackburn, President of Hockey SA, to do the presentations of the medals. The game can't take place without officials. The men who run up and down on the sideline in the fluoro yellow, they do a great job. They had a fantastic job tonight. It wasn't an easy one. It was tough at times, but they are valuable parts of the game. We really appreciate their help. So to those men, if I can ask the officials, the umpires of today's game, to come forward and receive their medals. It is Paul Finney and Nathan Jennings. While they're receiving their medals, a special thank you to the tech table gentlemen, John Kent and Peter DeLacy, for doing the hard work behind the scenes. The first of the awards for the grand final goes to the best on-field player for the final. A player who left nothing out there tonight, put it all on the pitch, had a cracker of a game. 2017, a player of the finals, Glenn Tamlin from Seacliff. And now can I ask the captain of the runners-up team, Hugh Purvis, to come forward and receive the runners-up flag. I've asked you to say a few words there, Hugh.
Firstly, obviously, thank you for everyone for coming out. It's been a huge day, as you can probably see from over there. Huge thank you to Seacliff. I mean, this rivalry is getting pretty insane. In 4 years or 3 years, we've been the top two, and 4 years fighting with each other. So, hoping to get the final at some point. But credit to you boys, fought to the end today and rip a game, and hopefully everyone enjoyed that. Todd Newtons didn't put it to game. Credit to the boys next to me. Fantastic season. We would have loved to have finished with the cup in our hands, but loved playing every minute with you boys, and a special thank you to the management staff at the end. You're not going to go management staff. They made it all happen, and the culture and the enthusiasm that they bring is just huge. So thank you very much. Thank you to everyone else that makes this sort of stuff happen, all the people at Hockey SA, umpires, officials, tech officials. Without everyone here, it couldn't happen. So huge thank you to everyone involved. It's fantastic, and what a way to wrap up the Premier League season. Sean Dawson, Angus Fry, Timmy Lee, a few claps will go straight. Rob Kane, Jimmy Hazer, Jimmy Humdinger, Ben McPhail, Fraser Bowden, Jake Stacey, Damon Lang, Dan Cox, Benjamin Massey, Sam Hilditch, Nico Lohmeyer, Freddie Gray, Ryan Lucas, and coach Stephen Button,
And last medal goes to Hugh Purvis. Congratulations, 2017 runners-up Adelaide Hockey Club. And now for 2017 Premier League winners, if I can call forward Captain Glyn Tamlin to receive the flag and to say a few words.
Firstly, thanks to Adelaide for another great game. As Huey said, it's been brewing for over 4 years now. Every single game we play against you is ultra competitive. This year it was 2-2, both times we stitched us up, and then luckily we got on the top in the game that counts. But it's probably a coin toss tonight, so thank you very much for making us work for it. Also, I'd just like to wish Massey all the best. Showed a lot of courage coming back out and playing after a big injury, so well done, mate. I'd just like to thank Hockey SA for putting on such a great show. I think it really shows, especially the social media side of things. You really want hockey to grow and evolve and get as many people out here as possible. So thank you very much to everyone that's come out to support tonight. I'd also like to thank everyone here, especially Jogger. Been with us for a number of years now, and every year you come out with extra passion, extra enthusiasm, and the boys really get around you and absolutely love having you as our coach. So thank you very much for another season. And same goes for Fran, our manager. Absolutely brilliant. Been with us for 5-6 years now. Couldn't rate her highly enough. And an extended thank you to everyone at the Seacliff Hockey Club. We've felt very supported all season by the board and the Medi Ones and the girls playing group. We worked really well. And yeah, excellent season, boys. Daniel Mitchell. Cooper Powdy. Tynan Cassidy. Connor Richmond South. Al Oliver. Jamie Preku. Ben Batts. Maxi Menergy. Jace Rademski. Lockie Cooper. Geordie Kiddo. Lockie Buzzacay. Mikey Wells. Matt Baird. Todd Kiddo. Matt Morton. Jogger Deloro. And Graham Oliver.
Your 2017 Premier League Men's Grand Final winners, Seacliff Hockey Club.
So there we have it, 2017 Premiers, Seacliff Hockey Club, the Tigers. We'll just have one more look at that final moment of this game. It was literally the last touch of the ball, with Buzzacay performing heroics and with the drag flick, crowning Seacliff for 2017. For the last time in 2017, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you again in 2018.
Congratulations to both teams. If we can ask both teams to settle where they are so that we can have some team photographs. Other than that, a very big thank you to James Blackburn for doing the presentations. Thank you to everybody for coming out today. Great support show today, both in the stands and from across the hill on the far side. It was great work. Can I ask everybody to please take some of the rubbish that's lying around where you're standing? Don't just leave it lying around. We will see you back here again for the next round of finals in a couple of weeks' time. Please drive home safely, everybody. Congratulations to both teams once again on an exciting final. And congratulations to all teams who played today. Some fantastic hockey out there. Champagne hockey out there on the field today. 4 cracker games. What a wonderful day of hockey. Thank you very much for coming out, everybody. We will see you again next time. Drive home safely.